Hi, I'm John and welcome back to the Contemplative Commuter. So you can probably tell not much commuting is going on today. I'm working from home, so this is a kitchen video. I'm having my mid-morning coffee break, so I thought I'd make a very quick vlog on my thought for the day, which is around happiness. So why did I want to discuss happiness today? And it was sparked by a practice I've got into, which is journaling each morning. And I was looking past or through my past kind of record of what I've written in a journal, and it got me thinking about what makes me happiest in a day. And you might ask, well, what qualifies you to talk about happiness? Well, my default setting as I'm a middle-aged man is grumpiness. So I do spend a lot of time thinking about what makes me happy and what makes other people happy and trying to learn from that and become a happier person. Doesn't mean I always accomplish that, but it is something that's always going on in the back of my mind. So I have 4 tips I'd like to go through with you. But before I start, I'm not saying this video is a cure for depression. So I would like to say, if you're having really dark thoughts, if you're not in a good place, go and speak to your doctor, go and speak to your GP, speak to a loved one, a friend, share how you're feeling and get some really in-depth medical support for that condition. This, for me, is more mainly 4 simple things you could incorporate into your day to hopefully make you a little bit happier. On that, my first tip, and you can probably guess this one if you've watched any of my other videos, is around movement and exercise. So, from my perspective, I'm really happy when I go to the gym and pick pieces of metal up from the floor, lift them up and put them back down and do that several times. It sounds ridiculous, but it makes me happy. I'm also really happy when I'm just walking or taking my dog for a walk. And it's because our bodies are meant to move. There's tons of research on the connection between the mind and the body. So if I could encourage you, just get out there, exercise, move, it will make you happier. Especially on a day like today in the UK, it's quite surprising. We've got a bit of sunshine, so not only if you get outside and go for a nice walk, you'll actually get a bit of vitamin D today in the UK, which is an added treat. My next one, and this is related, like I said at the start of the video, of how I decided or what my thought for the day was, is around journaling. So I try and consistently get up each morning and just journal for 5-10 minutes. But within that journal, I'm very specific and write down 3 things I am grateful for, and they usually relate to the kind of experiences or interactions I've had in the previous day. That's when I went back and looked over what I had recorded or written down recently. But it's a really nice way to start your day, because you can't be grumpy and grateful at the same time, and you can't be grumpy and happy at the same time. And I think just simply recording and writing down 3 things that you are grateful for, it sets your brain's default mode for the day. So that's my second tip, is journal, but being more specific. Maybe consider writing down at the very beginning of the day, before you open up your phone, before you have your coffee, whatever you do, write down 3 things you are grateful for. My next tip is, and I'm slowly learning this one, is value purpose and experience over material things. So I am terrible at this, and it's took me 45 years to learn it. I always equated to what I earn, how much stuff I've got, how many things I've got to happiness. And actually, that's not the case. Maybe aiming for just enough actually makes you happier. And if you look into any of Paul Dolan's research, he arrives at this conclusion. But striving for more and more things doesn't make you happy. Striving for a thing that will lead to a positive experience will do. So for example, I love cars. When I bought my M2, which was one of my dream cars, it was because of the experience that car gives me on a day-to-day basis. It wasn't purely for the purchase or the showing off of the item itself. So I really would consider aim for experiences, not just the pursuit of money or things. And that brings me on to the final point, is listen to your inner voice and pivot and change, and consider what you're doing for vanity versus what you're doing that makes you genuinely happy. So what do I mean by that? I've got lots of friends and acquaintances, and on paper they're in really good jobs, really well paid jobs, but when you actually speak to them, they're not that happy, but they stay in that environment because they like what they see as the perceived status of that job or the remuneration. But actually, they're pretty unhappy on a day-to-day basis. Now, I am really, really lucky. I've said before, I do a job I absolutely love and I feel gives me purpose. But listen to that inner voice. Really think about what you're doing in the moment or what you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Does it actually make you feel good? Does it make you happy? If it doesn't, well, consider pivoting and changing. If you're in a job, for example, and you're not that happy, talk to your boss. That would be my top tip. Say how you're feeling. I know that would feel incredibly brave and could maybe lead to a difficult conversation. But if you're unhappy and you don't tell anyone about it and you just bottle it up, it only goes in one direction. So that would be my 4 top tips: is exercise, journal, especially record what you're grateful for each morning. Think about experiences over things, and then really think about and listen to your inner voice on what makes you happy on a day-to-day basis. And if you're in an unhappy place, try and talk to someone about it and find a solution together. So on that, please subscribe, comment, think about what makes you happy, write in the comments box. I'm happy to answer any questions, and I'll make another video shortly. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.